Lot. The blessing is I don't remember, but I still can't look at them, my own girls. When the tears I shed slip down to my mouth, I mourn the loss of my wife all over again as the salt invades my tongue. I curse those two men for coming. I thank those two men for coming. I am saved. I am so lost. And my girls, what are they now? Cave-dwelling mother, sisters, and aunts, unmarried and marred. What am I now? Father and grandfather, blackout drunk on my own failed decisions, just wanting to go back in time to when life was simpler. To when I was just a shepherd in my uncle's caravan, heir apparent to the most famous man in the land, the man who tricked god emperors and kings. Who was just my uncle who'd saved me twice before, who cannot save me now. This is no dead father or war. I am not orphan or prisoner anymore. I am just a man sitting in the burned down wreckage of the home I picked for myself. I chose to go east of the Eden I'd been living in, one trip further down west, and it was all downhill from there, us both weighed down by the burden of wealth. So my uncle gave me the decision. He wanted me to reach and see the world as tall, climb up or down the north-south ladder of the land, but I wanted the world to be wide, so in my pride I left to the left, got myself a bride, and settled in a city that supplied all I needed. Had two beautiful girls, children in the way my uncle always prayed to his God for, and I pretended life was good. And then those two men came, weary travelers, yes, but who looked like they'd been fed. And I couldn't help but think of my uncle again. I wouldn't have admitted it then, but I was waiting for them, waiting for anyone to come. I knew the dangers of strangers, but it's strange which lessons stick with you. I would have sat at the entrance to that city until it grew too dark to see, because I could still see just enough how important that one lesson was. So I opened and then barred my door. I'd been to war before, so when the mob came, I put on my soldier's face and tried to pretend I'd ever been a good soldier. Use that crass kind of humor. Did my girls think I meant it? Did they think I would let anyone harm them? I was risking my life for strangers, and they are my daughters. How could they think I would let them be hurt? Is this why they thought to do this? I can hear the babies crying. Was this the lesson I taught them? And if it wasn't me directly, was it the choices I made? My uncle never gave a sermon, he just did, and I watched. How could I think my girls weren't watching? I will never be half the father my uncle was for me. I thought once, long ago, that I would father my uncle's kingdom, but now I have 4 children to take care of and so much mourning to do and no time for wishful thinking.